Now we come to the last part of the change of state. Okay, the same chapter matter in that the change of state. So we were discussing about evaporation. So now we see how evaporation can be explained by using the molecular model. So here it is shown the water molecules. They are shown here. You can see the water molecules are shown here. See, all the water molecules are there, and this is the surface of water. Okay, so these water molecules are in constant motion, that is they are able to move a little bit around each other also, because there is a little bit more intermolecular space between the molecules of a liquid, isn't it? In solid we saw that they were rigidly, tightly packed, isn't it? But here there is a little more space. So what happens? They keep on colliding with each other and they will lose energy, some other molecules will gain energy. So here at the surface, all the molecules which gain a little more energy, they are able to break the force of attraction and move out. Like suppose we are trying to pull something, and suddenly we get a little more energy, and if we are able to pull away, then we will become loosier. Like the tug of war, no? You know that when we pull, so if we are able to pull a little more, then we are able to break away from there and even pull the others also. So here what happens, due to the energy gained by the surface molecules, they are able to leave the surface. Okay, so this is what happens in evaporation. So evaporation means it is only on the surface, it is happening on the surface. So we say evaporation is a surface phenomenon. While when boiling was taking place, the whole liquid was boiling. We were constantly supplying it with heat, and the molecules were all moving, and then they were all changing into the gaseous state, isn't it? But here in evaporation, we don't have to heat the whole liquid. The molecules, they gain energy from their surroundings. Slowly when the evaporation is taking place, they will get energy from somewhere, from the surrounding or on the surface on which the molecules are, and they will start going out. Okay, so always when evaporation happens, there is a cooling also. Evaporation always leads to cooling because some energy is taken off. Like suppose we have lots of chocolates in a place, okay, and we have some kids also. So what happens, if some kid is able to break free and go away, they will take some chocolate with them and go. So here there will be a lack of chocolates. Okay, so we, same way if we say here there are packets of heat, so when they go out, these molecules they are taking away our heat from here. Okay, so that is why always evaporation leads to cooling. So I'll just explain to you what is given in the text. In a liquid, the molecules are in motion within its boundary. So molecules are all moving. They collide with each other. During the collision, some molecules below the surface of liquid acquire sufficient kinetic energy to overcome the force of attraction of other molecules, and their intermolecular spacing increases. Such molecules move to the surface of liquid and they absorb heat from the surrounding so as to escape out in atmosphere with the surrounding air molecules. So they are just going out with some heat energy. Okay, this process is called evaporation. So this is what happens in evaporation. Okay, now we come to the next part, why evaporation produces cooling. I have already explained to you that when the molecules leave the surface, they take away heat. So if you pour a little alcohol, that is spirit, on the palm, it gives a soothing or cooling sensation. Even girls must have used, when they use this nail polish remover also, when they put on their hand, they must be feeling very a cool sensation, isn't it? It is because these things, nail polish remover or alcohol, they have a very low boiling point. So what happens, they are volatile, so they will evaporate very fast. Okay, so when they evaporate, they take away heat from our body when we are putting it on our skin. So if some alcohol is poured on cotton wrapped around the bulb of a thermometer, so even if we wrap some alcohol with some cotton around a thermometer, so when the alcohol evaporates, the reading of the thermometer will fall. That means it will become cool. This shows that cooling is produced when a liquid evaporates. The reason for producing cooling in evaporation is that when a liquid changes into the vapor, it requires heat. Okay, I told you that it needs heat. This heat is supplied by the surrounding of the liquid, such as palm or cotton wrapped around the thermometer in the above example. This results in fall in temperature or cooling in the surrounding. That is why evaporation always leads to cooling. Now there are some applications of evaporation. Let us see where we use it. In summer season, okay, when for you now you keep the water in the refrigerator, but in the olden days people used to store water in earthen pots. Earthen pots means mangalam, okay, the pot which is made up of earth, which is they make it with clay, isn't it? So clay pots they were used. Why? Because these pots they have pores on its surface. Small pores are there because they are made of clay. When there are gaps between the small pores of clay, there are some spores there. Okay, so through these pores the water will evaporate. So when the water evaporates, it takes away heat, isn't it? So the latent heat means the heat required for change of state, required for evaporation. So whatever heat is required for evaporation is taken from water inside the pot. So inside the pot the water becomes cooler and cooler because surface molecules are evaporating. So that is why it is very cool. Like it is very tasty also, the water kept in earthen pot. So you can try it and save some energy. Okay. Then next we have second, doctors advise to put the strips of wet cloth on the forehead of a patient having high fever. See, you all must have experienced that when you have high fever, your mother, what does she do? She takes a wet cloth and she puts it on your forehead. So what happens? The water on that wet cloth will start evaporating. But when the water molecule leave, they need energy, so they will take away the heat from our body. So the temperature will fall from our forehead. Okay. So even the doctors ask to sponge the person fully, isn't it? So that everywhere evaporation will take place and it will lead to cooling. So for evaporation of that water, where does it get its heat? It gets its heat from the body of the patient, and thus the temperature of the body decreases. So this is a very good method to keep your temperature in control. Then we often pour tea in a saucer to cool it faster. You must have seen that people put the tea in a saucer, and in the saucer the surface area increases. So evaporation will take place faster. That we have learnt in evaporation. What are the factors on which evaporation depends? So when surface area increases, the evaporation will take faster. So when evaporation happens, cooling will happen. So our tea will get cold and we can drink it easily. Then evaporation of sweat from our body helps to maintain the body temperature at 37 degrees. So evaporation of sweat, whenever you are sweating a lot, at that time also you can feel that cooling effect. Okay, it is very comforting when we sweat a lot and then we sit under the fan. Then because of the moving air, you have learned that also when air moves, what happens? Evaporation becomes faster. So if sweat starts evaporating from our body, but when it leaves, it takes away heat from our body. Okay, so we feel cool. So that's all very cool, isn't it? Okay. Then difference between evaporation and boiling. So what is the difference? We have studied that evaporation is a slow process. Slowly it will happen. While boiling is a violent, rapid process, isn't it? When water boils, you can see the whole liquid starts moving around. Then evaporation takes place at the surface of the liquid, while boiling takes place throughout the mass of the liquid. That means whole liquid is boiling. Then it takes place at all temperatures. So it does not need a particular temperature for evaporation to happen. It can take place at all temperature. See, seawater is evaporating at all times, isn't it? So because of the evaporation from sea, the clouds are formed, isn't it? When the vapors rise up, they form clouds. Okay, so it takes place at all temperature. We don't wait for the sea to boil first and then evaporation taking place, not like that. So there what happens, evaporation is taking place. But when we are talking about boiling, we know that there is a constant temperature which is known as the boiling point. So water will boil only at that constant temperature, that is 100 degree, isn't it? So, so here boiling takes place at a constant temperature. Then when evaporation takes place, the temperature of the surrounding falls. But when here boiling takes place, temperature of surrounding remains constant, because for boiling all the heat we are supplying it in the form of heat. Okay, so that is the heat that is taken up by the liquid. So that is why the surrounding is not affected much. Okay, so I hope this is clear. So today good news is no homework today, but next time in the next class I will give question and answers. We will be solving, match the following and all things. Okay, so that time and also a little bit of sublimation is also left, so that I'll take in the next class.